say before the lesson? Was it?
I am awesome. I was created to do great things. And 1 John 4:4, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
There it is. See, and that was over 4 or 5 years ago. I remember you seeing it one time, and it kind of stuff. I couldn't remember, but I knew it was something that had to do with the leader in me. And that stuck with me. Thank you, Coach. I really appreciate that. All right. When you build a relationship with students, they're more receptive to receiving love. That's true. Who wrote this? And that's true, because some of these kids don't know how to receive love. You tell them, hey, dog, you know, you did good. They give them a hug and they, man, get off me, man. You know, especially if you do a little, hey, son, I'm proud of you. And they want to say something, and they're probably like, man, that's gay. Why are you touching me? And it's like, what are you talking about, son? I'm proud of you, like a father would be proud of his son. You did an outstanding job. You did an amazing job. I'm just showing you, son, that you know, that I'm proud of you. And again, some of these kids don't know how to receive that love. You have something to add that, Ms.
Oh, it was pretty much cut and dry. I just felt like that's something that I've always made a conscious effort to do. Always work on building a relationship, because you never know what kind of baggage you bring to the table one day. You know, some kids are parents at home, you know, even in elementary or middle school, they are the adult at home.
Right.
Then they have to come to school and become a kid again. So you have to build that relationship with them and show them that you understand and that you're on their side. You just want what's best for them, like Coach. We love them, giving that kind of godly love. So that's basically what that means.
Very good. That's an awesome response. Thank you. Let's see. I greet the scholars with a smile every day. Okay. And you know, you think about it, how much of a smile could mean to a kid who may be getting condemnation at home for little or nothing. Just that quick smirk, or even a quick, you know, let them know, hey, I see you. You mean something. Is that kind of like what you had in mind, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right. I compliment my scholars on their hair, shoes, or any other positive change I observe. That's a big thing. Some of these kids feel as though, especially in middle school, they're trying to find themselves, and they feel as though they're invisible. You know, especially being a teenager, where when they're growing into becoming a teenager, we as adults become the enemy. I don't know about you. I have a teenage child at home. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but I see it coming.
Close.
Yeah, she's 14. She's going to 9th grade, and that door stays closed. She's on her phone or her tablet. You know, she talks to her cousins or before she talks to me or my wife. So I understand that just being able to have that compliment, you know, hey, you know, just saying something, I see you, help to build that positive rapport. Right? Who wrote that? Again? You are like, Coach, you're on one today.
Yeah, baby, I'm here for you.
All right, and this one says, okay, I was trying to decipher that. Pick a way to give attention, fist bump, high five, side hug, give a appropriate kind word, and listen to what they say. Anybody who wrote that? Okay, want to elaborate on that, Coach?
Well, nowadays, you know, unfortunately, we have to pick the ways. Different people can give attention in different ways because of how it would be perceived. You know, luckily, as you get old, that's one thing about getting old. For me, to give a student a hug, it becomes different than as if I was younger or if I was a male, you know, counterpart.
Absolutely.
You know, some kids, too, they don't want hugs. They're not. So whatever's comfortable with the kid, listen to what they say, because quite often they're trying to tell us something, and sometimes we're not listening. And then about, if nobody told you that they love you, remember I do. I do, just like I do with my children. Quite often students, whenever you do something or correct them, they say that you don't like me, you don't like me.
Yeah.
And I always tell them I don't like the action that you did, but I do love you, and you always remember that. So that's how I get my love piece. You have to be careful with the love.
Right. And, yeah, and that's litigious, then, and we have to be careful how we approach the students. Even the little things that we say that can be misconstrued into something. Maybe the parent has some kind of history, and then they come on to, hey, your mom, you know, Coach gave me a hug. I love Coach. Coach is such a great guy. And mama, who may have, could have been with us, you know, could have had something inappropriate happen to her, wants to know, well, who's this coach? Who's this guy? And then make it an issue when it's really not an issue. It's just a matter of the person that you are just wants to show affection and that you're proud of that kid, you know, for the action that they took. You see them made some kind of turnaround. They did something positive. You want to reward them with a kind word.
And I think this one's easy for people who truly do love the children, who love the students.
And really, the kids that we have, they know. These kids we have, they can read whether you're real or not. They know who really likes them or not. They'll let you know.
They know.
They know, and they'll let you know, and they'll let the next, Coach Miller, I don't like this. He phony, he fake. I don't, these kids, they think they have all the answers. All right, well, guys, those are some awesome responses. I really appreciate that. Let me go ahead and turn back to engagement in professional development. Okay, so again, professional development is just what we do to develop ourselves professionally. We should have, what should we see in professional development? We should see some type of differentiation. How are we going to differentiate the content, the processes for learning, the products that either we expect from our kids or what we plan to make, and then the learning environment. For instance, how you have your classroom set up. Some people have their classroom set up in the traditional rows. Some people say best practices say, you have them face each other. You have some best practices that says, hey, put them in small groups. But we have to find out what differentiation works best in our own classroom to get maximum results, to maximize the instruction. And I think that's the key for any professional development, is how to maximize classroom instruction to get maximum results. All right. Well, as far as differentiating the content, we have content knowledge and desired knowledge, or current knowledge. What is that the kid know versus what we want them to know? Kind of like a KWL trip. And then the process. How are we going to teach these learning styles? What are we going to do to get that kid interested in the lesson and to gain that knowledge? And then what needs are going to be met by imparting this knowledge to them? Differentiation of the product. How are we going to change their mindsets on the work that they do? The product here is what the kids produce. How are we going to differentiate that? What does differentiation look like in your individual classrooms? What are going to be your expectations for those different modalities of learning that you have going on inside your classroom? That's one of the things that we're going to need to make sure that we try to find more professional development on. How do we reach these learners that have all of these different types of learning styles? Coach, you might sit in your math class the first day and find out with your 20 kids, you might have 5 different types of learners. And we've all seen it. How do you teach to those 5 different learners? We have to start looking at the steps that we're going to take to reach those kids. Where if you're the kinesthetic type person who's got to be up moving around like I am, I'm a busybody. Versus Coach might be the type of person who's visual. He might like to have things on the board. He might want to have the kids come in and see what he has, a presentation, a Khan Academy video or something. What kind of learning environment we're going to set up for these kids. And then finally, content-driven and pedagogical. Pedagogy, one of my favorite words, means something very, very simple. Teaching and learning. And I think as teachers, we're all lifelong learners, and that's what we're trying to impart to our kids, to be lifelong learners. What are we going to do to help them with their own pedagogy, their own teaching and learning? I don't know about any of you, but when I was in high school, I thought I was hot stuff. I thought me and Ms. Jacob in engineering, we thought we knew what we were doing. I know when I got to college, I found out I didn't know hot stuff. Anybody had that revelation? I got to U of H, I thought I was hot stuff in engineering, made A's and B, graduated number 27 out of 300. I thought I knew what I was doing, and then get to U of H and found out I had no idea how to study. I had no idea how to learn. Sitting in front of a lecture-style classroom, I had no idea. I was lost. Had a scholarship, almost lost it because I didn't know how to learn. Teaching and learning, I had to figure out what worked best for me, and it took me to find, and what it took for me to learn how to learn in college was sitting in a chemistry class of 300 people in an auditorium, and all the freshmen are burning the ink off our pens. Everything the man said, we write it down. And looking back at the upperclassmen with the basketballs, spinning their hand, laughing, chewing gum, high-fiving, and then they go look at the test, how they post the test outside by your last 4 digits of your social, and these guys are laughing A's and B's, and I'm like, man, how did you do it? Do y'all have a copy of the test? You frank guys, did y'all get a copy? Somebody, the guy was like, no. Oh, you're a fish. Let me tell you what you do. you don't know how to study. Get the syllabus. Read the syllabus. Before you come to class, if you read what he's already talking about, when he's talking, it's going to make more sense to you. And it took me to have to learn about my own learning. I didn't know how to learn. That's one thing I didn't grasp about my own learning. I didn't understand how to study until an upperclassman made it very simple. Read before you come in. When he starts talking about it, things you didn't understand, he's going to clarify it to make more sense. And I got on the dean's list, and I graduated from UH. And I owe it all to that one kid. I never really knew his name, but he helped me with my own pedagogy, how to learn. So at that point, we have to start thinking about what are we going to teach our kids how to learn. Because some of them come from fifth grade, all these different elementary schools with different learning styles, different testing styles that they were taught by their fifth grade teachers. What are we going to teach them about their own learning? What kind of differentiation can we make? Content driven, we have math, English, science, social studies. How are we going to drive the instruction home? What are we going to do for that instruction? And so that's something I guess we can think about and maybe we can prepare throughout the year. Data driven. I know you guys have heard this, and you're probably sick of hearing it. You know, formative and summative assessments, collecting data. I'm new here to this campus, so what does Ms. Busby want? How does she want assessment? Anybody tell me how often she wants assessment?
Weekly data capture.
Okay, weekly. Okay, and what would that entail, Mr. Jake?
Taught.
Yep, whatever you taught that week, then you're going to give a brief assessment at the end of the week.
Well, it's before. What you taught this week, you'll assess, like if you teach math, you'll teach this week, you'll assess next Tuesday. And then your PLC on Thursday, you sit down and look at your data. And then your plans for your
Next week.
Friday, flashback Friday, which will go back and reteach all the tests that the kids that I mastered on the assessment you paid.
Okay, and that pretty much sums up data collection, data interpretation, and then the modifications with the data. What are we going to do once we find out where we went wrong? Fix it. All right, professional development, teacher appraisal development system. Some of the things we guys know about with that is the self-assessment, the walkthroughs, formative and summative evaluations. As veteran teachers, I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But we all know about what the importance is of these types of assessments, especially if we're planning to assess our own children. Professional learning communities, PLCs. In those PLCs, we need to make sure that we have our weekly breakdown, find out what's going on with our misconceptions with the student learning, what can we do to correct those misconceptions and try to turn it around, whether we're using group work and so forth. Big plan is, of course, to move forward and to make revisions and go back and check those mistakes and do better. And coaching and mentoring. I think all of us here have had a mentor, someone who have coached us along in our teaching career. I myself will be, being new to this campus, I will be depending on a lot of you guys. Even though I'm a veteran teacher with almost 20 years experience, I'm not going to pretend that I know it all. Maybe you guys can help me with something that I don't know. Maybe you have a different approach that may work better than what I'm doing. So coach, I'm going to really lean on the shield on you. I'm really going to lean on you about, because I'm not going to lean down into my own understanding. I'm going to really come to you with a lot of mentoring. Well, coaching, you coaching me and being my mentor. And then finally, professional development, let's look at observations, feedback, and then the follow-up. What are we going to do once we find out what the kids haven't learned or the misconception? What's next? What's our plan B? What do we go back? How do we go back and address that? How do we fix it? So again, professional developments we're going to have throughout the year, and I think we should all focus on trying to find professional developments that help us with our own observations and feedbacks in the classroom. And I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to try to sign up for some type of professional development that helps you professionally to develop. And that's all it is. It's just a matter of helping you with your teaching and learning, your own pedagogy. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I do have a reflection piece. If you could just fill out some people already took the liberty to start answering the questions. It's real quick. Only 4 questions. Are you a veteran teacher? Wait, this is totally anonymous. Here you go, ma'am. Uh-oh. Oh, you already have one? All right. And all right, so I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do that, and I will take these up, and when you are done, feel free to grab your snack or two and a drink on the way out. Thank you guys very much for your participation. I really appreciate this. I really do. Thank you.